Good evening, everyone. My name is Zeb Jones. I'm going to be giving you 7 pro tips for building a free website tonight. This is mainly for people out there who may have been contemplating going into an internet business, but really don't understand exactly what's all entailed. This is basically just an infrastructure of what you will actually need to go online. This is very professional. Online presentation is everything. So I'm going to show you some low budget ways to get some professional work done. To try to keep everything as simple as possible, what I did was I broke everything down into 3 sections: infrastructure, social, and media and content storage. These are probably the 3 things that you'll need to start up your internet business. I'll explain more as we go along. Okay, the first thing we need to do is set up the infrastructure. And what I mean by the infrastructure is actually the very basic thing that's going to hold everything together. We want to keep all your information in one place. We want to know where everything is at all times. So the first thing we need to do in achieving that is create a Gmail address. Now, you actually can use any email, but Gmail is the most convenient because we're going to be using a lot of Google services. I'm not a Google advocate, but I do realize a good deal when I see one, and very few things out there beat free. So please keep in mind that this is for business purposes, so you do want to create a new Gmail webmail address. You don't want to use one that you already have. This is completely new, so just get on there and sign up, and we'll continue on with the infrastructure. Tip 2 is the Google Chrome browser. Now, you may already use Google Chrome, or you may not like Google Chrome, but there is a feature in Google Chrome that makes it actually wonderful for keeping things organized. And this is simply the ability to create a user profile. Just so you know, I didn't mention it before, but all of the links to everything that I'm actually showing you will be at the end of the article on the web page, not the YouTube page, but the web page. So if you're viewing this on YouTube, the web link to the web page should be there. Now, once you have your Google Chrome installed, you can actually go in and sign up or sign into your Google Chrome browser with the Gmail address you just created. So you see here on the Google Chrome browser that there is a little box with three little lines, 3 horizontal lines there. You just click on that and scroll down to where you see Sign in Chrome. Another one of the big advantages to using Chrome browser is that you can have multiple profiles. As you can see here in the upper left corner, I have multiple profiles. So for any one project that I may be working on, I'll have an email address and I'll have a profile created for that specific account. So now if I'm using multiple accounts, if I'm working on several projects at one time, all of my information will be on that specific browser. So I can go into that browser, I can get all of my email, I can get all of my bookmarks are there. In addition to this, I can go and I can sign into a Chrome browser anywhere in the world, any computer, mobile devices, iPads, tablets, cellular devices, cellular phones, so on and so forth. I can go and I can get that information anywhere. So I'm completely mobile and I have everything there organized. I may want one for my personal, my banking. I may have one for just my entertainment, but I can create as many email addresses and as many, companies, as many websites as we will get to next that I want to. So now we're looking at step 3, which is Google Sites. Now, like I said before, the main thing that I'm interested in when I'm doing a project is the professionalism of it. I don't want anything that looks shabby or looks second rate or looks like I just threw it together in my spare time. And one of the main concerns is that, you hear the word free, is that is this really going to be quality? Is this going to be some good stuff? Well, as I mentioned before, Google is probably the most stable platform, if not one of the most stable platforms to have a website housed on. So actually using Google Sites is very, very secure, very, very stable. You know that your site will be up all the time. And you also know that you sort of have a leg up on the search engine optimization because Google is registering you. You will be registered with Google. And right now, about 90% of all searches online are done on Google. So it really pays to be, in their sites. As a matter of fact, or a great deal of search engine optimization today is dependent on Google because people use Google so widely. Okay, at this step, you sign in and register with Google Sites. And you do that with the same email address that you created at the beginning of this video. So now you have your Google Chrome and you have your Gmail, and everything synced in. So now you also have your Google Sites synced in as well. Now, Google Sites, a few things you need to know about Google Sites. Google Sites will give you a free website, okay? The limitations to that website is that you have 100 megabytes of storage actually on the site. And I'm going to show you later on in the video how to get around that. So now that you have your site created, you've chosen a template, okay? A lot of these things I can't really go through now, but make sure that you leave a comment at the end of the presentation, and any questions that you have or anything that you want addressed in a future webinar, I'll be glad to. Now that you have your site created, you want to click right in on that link. Right here it says Macabre Ministries. Whatever the site name you created, click right there, and it should bring you to your actual site screen. It's on this screen that you can actually do your editing to your site. It's where you add content, pictures, change your fonts, so on and so forth. Right over on the left, you'll see a button that says More. You hit that and scroll down to Edit Sites. Actually, it says Manage Site, not Edit Site, but you click on that Manage Site, and it'll bring you over to the Manage Site page. In the left column of choices you have, you'll see the choice actually is highlighted in orange in this instance, and it says General. Now, of course, the reason why that tab is orange is because I clicked General, and these are the choices that I have under General. And if you look down in the choices and what's populated, you'll see where it says Site Usage, 1% of 100 megabytes. That's letting you know that you have 100 megabytes to use for the site. And that's not really a lot of content to put on your site. But as I said, later on in the video, we show you a way to get around that. The next component is social. Now, we know that you probably use, all types of different social media. Of course, there's Facebook and there's Twitter, there's Pinterest, Google+, and there's countless. We can be here all day naming them. However, the three that we want to focus on are Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay, right now you really just want to use Google+ because of the search engine optimization benefits. Google's into everything, and they're the giant on the block right now. So it would really be kind of foolish not to, use their social media. And once again, this is for business. If this were your personal, that'd be something different. So once again, you want to use the email address, the Gmail address that you created to create all of these accounts. And you want to create all of these accounts in this Chrome browser. That way, when you pull everything up, everything will be right there for you. So I really didn't want to include G+ or Google+ as a tip because you kind of get that automatically when you sign up for the Gmail address. You get all that together. But Facebook is definitely a must-have. There's a lot of great marketing techniques that you can actually use on Facebook. So now by this time, signing in, after you sign in and sign up for Facebook with your new address, and also another thing, you want to sign in for Facebook. You want to create a fan page. You don't want to create a personal page with that new email address you have. That fan page should reflect whatever your website name is and, coming up next, what your Twitter name is. Yeah, so Twitter is another essential must-have in your social media package. Twitter is just great for, launching your news and letting people know what your company is doing up to the second, really. It's all done in real time. So even if you really don't know what is going on with Twitter, or if you're not too fond of Twitter, you really need to have it in your professional media arsenal. Oh, I apologize. It looks like I overlooked a very important piece of information I wanted to give you about your website or domain name. You can use a domain name that you already have and purchased on Google Sites, or you can purchase one. That is probably going to be the only thing that you would have to pay for. Right now, fortunately, what I have for you is a page of discounts for GoDaddy.com. And you can actually go on GoDaddy right now, or it seems like they have promotions going all the time, but you can buy websites or domain names for about $2. So what you do is you copy the promo code, and you put that in to the checkout, or you input it in when you check out of GoDaddy.com, and they'll apply the discount to your purchase. And you can get a very, very inexpensive domain name. Our last section for tonight is media, content, and storage. And we're going to be talking about storing your media. As we were saying before, Google Sites only gives you 100 megabytes of information storage space. That's content that you can actually store. So if you're going to take a picture and upload it to your website, you can only upload up to 100 megabytes of information. That is not really a lot of information when we're talking about content, especially if we're talking about, or we start talking about video content. So a way of getting around that would be first using YouTube. Now, back in 2005, Google bought YouTube, so it's very, very easy, once again, to get integrated into YouTube once you have your Gmail email account. So you can just log on to your YouTube page once you create that Gmail account. One of the best features about YouTube is its privacy policy, or its privacy features. You can actually, you can set your video to completely private, or you can just decide who can view it or who can't view it. And you can actually embed these videos on your site. So all of the videos that you can upload to YouTube, which is really virtually unlimited, you can actually stream through your site. And when you stream the videos to your site, they will not affect the 100 megabyte limit that you have on your site, because technically the information that you're streaming or that you're showing from YouTube is not on your site. Now, this same strategy can be applied to Flickr. YouTube is good for video, and Flickr is actually excellent for photographs. So if you have any photographs that you have taken and you have uploaded that you want to share with the world on your website, you can do it for free now without having to go to any other resources or paying any hosting. There's also several other resources out there for everything that I've just showed you. If you're interested in learning more, make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what was good, what interests you, and what you want to hear more of. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming out. You can always contact me at Zawbdiyel@gmail.com. That's ZAWBDIYEL @gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.